Welcome back to the Pick Stops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Bantine here with Ted Ings, and today we're going to be talking more about BDC with Volley and the incredible team at the Niello company. Ted, I'm looking forward to all the conversation we're going to have.
Sarah, I know you know a little bit about this topic, and we're really honored, first of all, that Tully Williams has us in here at the Niello Company in Sacramento, and of course to have our great friend Scott Davis, Volley, with us. Scott, well,
Yeah, thanks for having me. And we have another gentleman with us on the panel today, Tully.
Yes, we do. So Carl is our manager of our BDC. And I'm telling you, Carl has turned around our BDC. We started from scratch. And honestly, we never thought we'd be where we are today. So last month, answering over 18,000 calls, making those 40 appointments per person every day. So Carl, you're doing an incredible job for us. Then again, I don't think we could do without Volley, could we? No.
Well, Carl, let me ask you this first question. You have a lot of calls coming in and out of your ADC, but how does Volley help dealerships really improve the customer outreach and the communication?
It's just so much more efficient for the agents because Volley helps to preload our queues and the agents know who to call each day. And when an inbound call comes, we know for which dealership it is and what queue they're calling in for. So we kind of have a little bit of insight before the agent answers the call.
And Tully, I imagine that there's a lot that goes into the whole communication process from the time that the customer, calls in initially to the ongoing communication. Can you share with us a little bit about how the VDC strategy has evolved?
So the first thing is that you have your inbound calls. And honestly, when we first started this, inbound calls was not our priority. Our priority was making outbound calls, right? And our outbound calls is, are we calling the people that had declined reds, right? Are we calling people that haven't been in 11 months or 12 months or 13 months? I believe that email does not work. And my belief is that if I have Carl and his incredible team call everybody through Volley and call them to make their next service appointment, we will get much better results. Because when we make that phone call, what do? We send a text and an email chaser on the wise. Plus, we could track that process. We're going to get better results. So it started with outbounds, not inbounds. Inbounds is just the icing on the cake. And the nice thing about it is our team, because we have somebody, we can get those phones answered. Our goal is that we talk every day is how many voicemails did you have? And our goal is, of course, to have zero, because if there is a voicemail, we'll respond to that customer usually within 10 or 15 minutes. But the goal is how do we drive retention and how do we drive? So the greatest thing I think that we see with the BDC is that if we get the person on the phone about 40% of the time, there's a 50% chance that I'll make an appointment. And to me, that is an incredible number that Carl and his team does.
Scott, what are you seeing that are the biggest challenges that dealerships are facing right now in terms of BBC and drop rate?
Yeah, there's just a lot going on in your BDC. They're forced to do a lot of things in the dealership. Before Volley, I'd like to say, we've given them the tools to be successful, to have visibility to what's going on, and to put a strategy in place that they'd follow.
Well, and Carl, thinking about the challenges that a dealership faces, what has been, some of the biggest challenges that you've seen in your role, and how has Volley helped you really work through that?
The outbound outreach has been challenging to be able to get to all of our customers. And with Volley, it's just so much more efficient, and it helps the team to structure their day and to make those calls and do multiple follow-ups with the customers that we're not able to contact them on the first go around.
Scott, metrics. Let's talk about that. What metrics should dealers be tracking? And I know you've given us so many metrics and new metrics I wasn't even aware of in the last couple of years on the Fix Ops Roundtable. But what should they be measuring to measure success?
Yeah, I think we log every keystroke, so we've got a ton of data, but some of the key ones, how efficient are your agents? This is a call, email, and SMS platform, but a lot of what happens with email and SMS happens automatically. How much time are they spending on the phone engaging with the customers? We do blended dialing. How are they converting on inbound calls? We know every inbound call, whether it's appointable or not. At a store like this beautiful store, a 1% increase in your inbound conversion rate is huge money, right? And then how effective are they outbound? 100 outbound attempts should be 35 conversations, 7 to 9 appointments. So a lot of that's pacing. So how efficient are the agents? How effective are they being at helping the people who are trying to do business with them? And then are they growing their business? Those are the basics. A lot of people in the past, they haven't had these tools and they say, well, gee, I've got a BDC, it's expensive. Or they just don't know how to manage it. So that's what I would do.
Let me just add a little bit to that. So I think that when we look at metrics, and when Carl and I said, hey, I think we want to start a BDC, is that we wanted to build a forecast for us. And kind of what Scott mentioned is that we believe that 40 appointments a day is our target, right? That's where we'll be successful. Two is that it starts with a great team that Carl designed of people that actually care about answering the phone, right? And to me, that's another big piece of it. Because if you don't care about answering the phone, you're not going to make it appointments. And they got to love what they do. And then the next thing is the buy-in from the stores itself. If the store believes that we're making an impact for the store, it'll even be better success. And Carl, I feel that we have all three, don't you believe?
Absolutely.
So, Scott, let me come back to you if I can. You work at a lot of dealerships, a lot of different sizes, some a lot smaller than Niello, some bigger. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you work with dealerships of different sizes?
Well, I mean, we're kind of a chassis, right? I mean, we're here to execute their strategy. So whether it's a single store with one agent who does outbound only to a large dealer group, these guys were able to consolidate into one BEC. These save a ton of labor doing that because answering the phone is about math. One of the keys though that I want to say, and to get off the Volley subject, part of why these guys do so well is because of their integrated attitude that they have in the dealership. Carl is part of their stores team. They get a ton of buy-in. Tully is really works with all of them really well. That's what it takes to do really well. But 100%. So
Well, and Scott, just in closing and kind of thinking about the future, how does a dealership, like the Niello company, as they continue to grow and as they continue to add more components, how do you grow along with them?
uh, right now we make agents 2 to 4 times more productive. We've got some tools in place. We know we need to double that. We could do that by giving better feedback, better coaching, other tools that are out there that are on our roadmap. So, I mean, it's our mandate. We got to keep doing better. The dealerships are going to keep getting pushed to do more with less resources. So we need to be up to the challenge too.
Can I ask one more follow-up?
Sure.
How did you gentlemen get together, Volley and Niello?
Oh, knock it off, Tim. Knock it off. We're back because of Ted.
We've been because of that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Scott and I say he's a good friend of mine, and he has really made the improvement for us and made, I want to say, Carl's team a massive success. Again, I'm going to say it again. Carl's team is successful not because of Volley, but it's because Carl does a great job with his team because they want to help people out. And to me, that's what it's all about. So I want to say thank you to Carl. And of course, I want to say thank you to Scott, one of our great partners that helps us be successful. Scott, thank you, Carl. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. And Carl, congratulations to you on his successor. Thank you. And I look forward to hearing about more as we go through. We are in Sacramento. Sarah Ventine and I, we're at the Niello company. We're with Scott Davis of Volley and Tully Williams, and we are going to be right back.